Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Ottoman's Life. My name is Ali. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you're keeping well. So Lego Friends, if you've seen any of my videos before, you know I'm a huge fan of Lego Friends theme. I think they've been going from strength to strength over the years with their new rebranding, away from the six original girls. Now there's a lot more characters in that theme, covering different ethnicities and diversities as well. I think the theme is going in the right places. Their sets though have been really getting more ambitious and more complete and more polished over the years as well. Not to say they weren't before, they were really, in my view, better than most of the City Line sets, both in terms of price and actually features and playability of the sets themselves. There's even usually new Lego elements that first introduced in Lego Friends sets, which I think is just awesome. So I managed to pick up the Community Center set, which is 41748, and also the kitchen, the one that came before this, or along with it, 41747. You can buy them individually, and they're still great sets by themselves. Do check out, there's a lot of people who've done quite a review on those two sets. Or you can combine them together to create a whole new big tower with another story in there. So I'm really excited because I've gone back to doing some good old mock building as opposed to building just sets. So I'm really excited to get into that now. So one of the challenges I wanted to do was to convert this set with the community kitchen into a fully realized modular building to place proudly in the city. So I'm going to show you that journey is going to be over a few videos. I hope you're going to find it interesting and inspiring to do the same for your city. So let's get into it. So I love this set. To begin with, I love the individuality that each story has. The color scheme is fantastic. I love color. It's so much better to have this vibrancy compared to the typical dark bluish gray that you see in some buildings, especially from the City Line or the official modular set. So this was great. Especially the window designs on each of the stories, I think is really cool. Each floor has a different design for a window, some different textures in there. You got some snot techniques in there, you got the headlight bricks in there, you got a pillar in there, and that printing of the wall art, excellent, just beautiful. And the interiors as well is really good fun. You got the normal kitchen in there, and you got a game room, you got an art studio, you got a recording studio, a karaoke, or however you want to call it. The slide connecting one floor to the other. It is so unsafe, but absolutely fantastic. It looks so much fun. So I might want to keep that incorporated into the finished modular building that I want to create here. Now, the easiest option could be that I could just take another one of these sets, so get two sets of each, fill out the remaining blank walls, because it is like a dollhouse at the moment, place it on a 32 by 32 base plate, and we're pretty much there. You would need to do a lot more modifications, a few more extra bricks, but the two sets worth of extra parts you're going to get will make your life a lot easier. And if you're really interested in that, I do recommend to check out a fellow YouTuber, Rids Bricks. I'll leave a link in the description. He has done an amazing modular conversion utilizing these two sets. Also do check out Rebrickable. There's quite a few people who have done and have provided instructions on how to do a fully realized modular on a 32 by 32. But me being me, and not to make my life easy, And as space is so much of a premium in my Lego city, I decided not to go for a fully sized regular base plate building, and I wanted to try and cram all of this into a 16 by 32 base plate. So I had to make a lot of cost conscious decision. I don't want to get another set, so I'm just going to utilize the single set for a start again, and I do have some spare parts that will help here for sure. And also the positioning of the building on the 16 by 32 base plate, and I have two options here. I could put it as a full corner, so then I utilize more of the base plate. However, because I keep changing my mind of where I will put this in the city, I didn't want to go through the pain of, just limiting myself to the left-hand side of a street. Because usually I would say, I don't want it there, I want it on the other side. That means I would need to flip it over and mirror it onto the other side of the base plate, which is a bit too much pain. So I'm going the easy way, although it's even more of a challenge, is that I'm going to place this in the center of the 16 by 32 base plate. So then I have a gap either side. So then I have the flexibility of where I can put this in the city. So in order to do that, and because I don't have that much real estate to work with, I had to make some decisions here of what I have to remove from the set. And even though I love the stairs of this build, I think it's so cool, I just do not have the space to place this on a 16 by 32 base plate. They will have to go. I do like the stairs, so I'm going to put that maybe on another mock building, but it will not be for this one. And the other decision I've made is that I will not be building any interior stairs to connect up the floors. So the foundation has been done. I've laid down kind of the main layout and build of the ground floor. I've decided to go for two corners on here. One of them will be a window and one of them will be door, like the original set. I think that just adds it a little bit of a different texture and dynamic. And also, depending on where I put it in the city, it will fit in quite nicely dependent on which building I place it against and which angle you are going to be looking at from. So as you can see, I've put quite a few jumper plates in here to be able to place some minifigures around in the build itself. Which I think is still important to create those scenes. So now that I've got the kind of interior all sorted, it's now just placing in all the little mini builds inside the interior. So I'm still keeping that shelf, which I think is pretty cool. I haven't reduced it. I think I like it. The sink I've had to now invert in to save some space. That took a bit of Lego math in there because you're dealing with putting something on its side. So I had to use some kind of brackets to use up and fill out the half base plate height. That was a bit of a challenge. It took longer than I wanted to do, but I got there in the end, and I think it looks pretty good. Still keeping the original theme, but compact. The old fridge is still there. I think that was compact enough, so there's no reason. I've just switched it around to a different location. And the cooker, I had to just basically cut in half. There's no way the whole size of the original could really fit in into this kind of small limited space that I have. I did utilize pretty much all the parts from the community center set itself. I did need to dig into my spare parts collection, but for a little bit, for that one tile, 4x4 tile, I didn't have a plain tile, so I used the one with a few studs in there, and one back panel, purple panel that I had from another friend's set that I used as well. So for my spare parts, I didn't have to dig into that much actually. So that was pretty, I was pretty proud of myself that I could use the existing parts that I had. The back panel itself, I tried to make it a little bit easier to be able to detach from. So then as always, it's good to be able to have better accessibility because it's quite tall. Sometimes putting the minifigures in there is a little bit finicky with the limited space that you have. The awnings, I just basically split in half. It was 4 of those kind of curved pieces that adorned one side of the original building. I just split that in half and had one on either side. So I think you're utilizing the parts as best as possible and still adding some texture to the building. Now on the exterior, because I was using a snot kind of, or placing the bricks and plates on its side, you do see some ugly parts coming out on the front, which is a little bit annoying, but I have a plan for that I will actually place the bench build that is from the original set itself and utilize that to hide all that bit of ugly part and put some more foliage around there as well to get that hidden. So polishing it all up and putting all the tiles in there, I did like the color scheme of the gravel kind of design of the footpath on the pavement of the original set. So I tried to incorporate that into the tile work here. Now placing the bench in there, and I just adjusted a little bit so I can not only just have mini dolls in here but also mini figures being able to sit on that bench without falling over. And I love mixing up mini dolls and minifigures in my city. I think it looks fantastic. Harmonization, that's what it's all about in the city. So now with that little tree as well that was on the original roof of the community kitchen set, I think having that tree in there adds a nice little texture to it as well, and that kind of ugly part is getting more and more hidden away. So all in all, I'm quite happy with the first part of this. Now that the groundwork has been done for the ground floor, it's now just about replicating that same process for each of the stories, and knowing the fact that I didn't have to go into my spare parts collection much for each of the floors, I think we should be in a very good position then of having enough parts for each of the subsequent stories. I think once I get the next story done, the next ones will fall in quite easy, and I can't wait to get cracking on that and get onto those lovely window designs and the interiors. Let's see how much I can squeeze into the tight space that I have. I might have to have some ingenious thoughts here. Some things may have to be cut, we just don't know. But anyway, that's it for part 1. In the next part, we'll go into the next couple of stories, maybe 2, maybe just 1. I'll see how I get on as adulting comes into my way. But I hope that's helped inspire you, and let me know if you do have this set and what do you think about it, and if you are working on modularizing it for the city. Okay guys, until next time, peace and love.